Dinesh D'Souza has, he's like paid his way, I think, on the right. He's earned his stripes. He's put a lot into it with his propaganda books and his propaganda documentaries and his attempting to craft some sort of argument to justify overturning the will of the voters in 2020. Like he's a right-wing guy. He's done a lot for them. And he probably told himself along the way, well, now I'm good. They'll accept me. But the issue is that it was never gonna be about what you've given or what your views are, your actions. MAGA and the right are to their very core identity focused. It is always at the end of the day gonna come down to identity with them. And lately, there's been a trend where members of MAGA who are of Indian descent in particular have been targeted by their supposed ideological allies or whatever. And so Dinesh D'Souza is on Twitter. And he responds to a tweet by Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh is saying, basically he's saying you shouldn't be able to tear down the East Wing of the White House or whatever. He doesn't own the place, we do. Now Dinesh D'Souza is going to defend Trump. Bear that in mind for when he gets attacked. And he tweets, America is also our home. We live here under laws that we made. Didn't Biden and the Democrats ignore those laws? Tear down the walls and let millions of home invaders in? Where were you when all that was happening? Now this is a bunch of what about nonsense. None of that has anything to do with whether Donald Trump should be able to tear down the White House. And if Joe Biden had done it, Dinesh D'Souza would be doing an entire documentary about it. Let's be very clear about that. So even in this tweet, he's advancing right-wing narratives and right-wing propaganda. But despite that, he begins to get deluged by anti-Indian racism. And we're not gonna show you a bunch of that because it's grotesque. We're gonna show you, I think, the single worst one to represent all of it. So Ribbert says, you're Indian, you made nothing, you are nothing, and devoid of creation. Your ilk has been a race of slaves for hundreds of years, and even after being given a chance, you prove what worth you are, devoid of actual thought. Your existence causes me disgust. Again, Dinesh D'Souza was defending Donald Trump in that. Again, it shouldn't matter, but this is how focused on identity the right is. So Dinesh D'Souza, facing now with no blinders, the leopard eating face party, says in a career spanning 40 years, I have never encountered this type of rhetoric. The right never used to talk like this. So who on our side has legitimized this type of vile degradation? It's a question worth thinking about. Now, he does not, at least in what I've seen, go on to actually identify who he's referencing there. Clearly, he wants you to be mad at somebody and not, the entire MAGA thing. And Donald Trump has done so much to normalize and encourage exactly this sort of not only racism, but aggressive trolling and attacking online and all of that. And so Dinesh D'Souza, even faced with the realization that this movement still hates him, not based on what he's done, but based on who he was born as, is still defending it. Still defending MAGA and Donald Trump and just implying that there's some shady person perhaps that you should be mad at, but he doesn't want to identify them, probably because he knows that if he does, he'll just get attacked even more by their supporters. And so Dinesh D'Souza is a grotesque waste of a human life, I think. He's a criminal, he's done terrible things. That said, he should not be attacked in this way. This is insane that you'd be posting these racist things at him. Attack him not for who he is, attack him for the terrible things he's done. There is a lot of material there. What do you think, Brett?
Like, I'm trying to figure out who did this. Like, whose side? Like, no one's accusing. No one's, they're only accusing the left of being racist against white people. Even the right is. That's it. They're not accusing the left of being racist against Indian people. I've only seen people be racist against Indian people lately at like Turning Point USA events. And
yeah, why don't we bring that up? What you're referencing, it's Vivek Ramaswamy.
I wish we had the video, but yeah. The Vivek Ramaswamy, surprise, Vivek Ramaswamy's Turning Point event derailed by racism, which was an amazing moment for those who didn't see it. They're like, I forget the specifics and you need to find the video, but essentially like these like little pasty faced whiteys get up there. God bless them. I love pasty faced whiteys. Most of my friends are. And they're just like, hey, you being a polytheist, Jesus hater. What are your thoughts on that? And Vivek's just like, I know I've made my, like to himself, he's just like, I know I've made my bed. What have I memorized that allows me to come off as likable and basically get my way out of here alive? Should I point out that Indians and Europeans share the Indo-European language family? Is that a good thing? Is it the fact that like we all like a good polo? Should I bring that up? Like he's trying, should I find common ground?
I know.
And
and he has, because he has to, Brad.
Because he has to, because he has to.
Basically that is a terrible position to be in.
It's so hilarious. It's so perfect. It's like, Dinesh, I know you have convinced yourself that they think you're one of the good ones. Like, oh, except for Indians and East Asians, because they, teach their kids right in all of these tropes. Like just the weird racism house of cards that is collapsing on him. And then Kash Patel, as you pulled this graphic as well. Pastor asks Kash, I'm doing all your graphics. Kash Patel to quote, go back home and worship sand demons.
And Nikki Haley was attacked as well. They just acknowledged Diwali, and they were viciously attacked and told to go home.
It's so sad, dude.
And so look, it is grotesque. Again, they shouldn't. But again, but you can't really be surprised. You could be angry that this is happening to you, but like it's the surprise from Dinesh D'Souza that gets me. Like, oh, you didn't know that this was your party? Come on, man. Like again, I'm defending you. You should not be attacked in this racist way. But that's your movement. And by the way, does it bother Dinesh D'Souza when that's happening to people who aren't Indian or Indian American? Well, the racism against like Black Americans or Mexican Americans, I mean, that's an everyday thing. Is he posting tweets about how that's unacceptable? Maybe. I don't think so. And by the way, like the right never used to talk like this. In terms of like public, maybe. I do think things have gotten worse and racists are more emboldened now than they were 10, 20, 30 years ago. But by the way, like we've also seen in all these text message chains, you give them just a little bit of privacy and they do talk like this. And in fact, specifically like that Paul Ingrassia guy was also attacking Indian, he was attacking Vivek Ramaswamy in that case. They do really seem to have a problem with Indian Americans. And we know that Usha Vance was attacked in this way, and it would have been great for her husband to defend her, but unfortunately he chose not to do that. And I will end on this because I know we're over. I don't know for sure who he's referencing that he wants to blame on it. I think he's talking about Laura Loomer. That would be my guess because she's been so aggressive against Indian Americans. But again, she's not uniquely responsible for it. They're all responsible for it.